Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Evans, and here is my mini lesson on the absolute true diary of a part-time Indian by Sherman Alexie. The absolute true diary of a part-time Indian. The main character's name is Junior, and we, the audience, see the journey of how Junior transfers to a different school to off of the reservation. We see how he makes new friends and the losses of his family impact how he responds to different situations. The objectives. The students will be able to understand autobiographical work. The students will read the absolutely true story of a part-time Indian, and the students will use Alexie's work as a framework to construct their own memoir writing. Some of the standards that will be addressed in this lesson are RL 7.2, determine a theme or central idea of a text and analyze its development over the course of the text and provide an objective summary of it. RL 7.6, analyze how an author develops and contrasts the points of view of different characters or narrators in a text. W 7.2.D, use precise language and domain-specific vocabulary to inform about or explain the topic. And W 7.3, write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective techniques, relevant descriptive details, and well-structured event sequences. The rationale for this mini lesson will be to help the students understand the author's style when it comes to writing a memoir. This book is a semi-autobiographical novel of Alexie's life. Sherman Alexie was born and grew up on a Spokane Indian reservation. He, like the main character in the book, had a brain condition which caused him to have seizures. His father was an alcoholic, and his mother also, like the main character, had many jobs. Like Junior, he also went to a school called Riordan. The students will choose a memory like Alexie did and write a narrative describing the event from their perspective or a character's point of view. The procedure for teaching the mini lesson. What steps will be taken to teach the objectives? We would start out with an initial, about 10 minutes of introducing Alexie and his work. Part of this mini lesson would be that the students have already read the work of the absolute true story of a part-time Indian, and the teacher would discuss how important it is to have memories and reflect on the memories that stood out to the individuals, like Alexie did through his story. The teacher will share some of the memories that had helped shape him or her in her own life. Each group will have a copy of the book. It will be divided up into small groups afterwards, and they will have read it previously and taken notes on it. Some of these graphic organizers and notes would be about character traits. There are two here that I picked specifically that I think would help the students be able to really dive into the text and pull out the information that Alexie wanted them to learn and know about the characters. They could choose the different characters in the story that are emphasized in this narrative piece and semi-autobiography. Alexie illuminated the different characteristics of Junior throughout the story. Junior's parents, his grandmother, Roger, Penelope, and Rowdy. The teacher will show these two graphic organizers that he or she has already previously filled out so that the students can see how to pull the information and really dive into and experience the entity of a specific character. Then the independent writing. The students will start to construct a rough draft of a memoir using a first-person narrative, much like Alexie did in the story. The students will write down a series of 7 memories, like in the memoir paper I have selected here, and pick one to write about as an in-depth narrative, as Alexie did with the book, with the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian. The teacher will share the writing of a memoir that he or she has written. One extension activity that would be beneficial for this would be for the students to share their memoirs with their peers. They would be able to do this via a literature circle or roundtable discussion with their peers. They would be able to draw a picture, much like Alexi did in the work. He drew a lot of little graphics on the side to kind of represent the satire and his style and his voice and the author's style in the story. They will also be able to have little post-it notes such as this, and as the different people are presenting, they would be able to write down positive feedback for their peers in their literature circles. This lesson, as I was compiling it, really helped me as a reader understand the importance of writing down events in our own lives and how we learn lessons from those moments. As I was reading this story, it's a novel for young adults. I really saw how Alexi felt and his tone and his style come through in each sentence, even. Memoirs are a thing or event to show how we grow and mature as a result of the situation. In the beginning of the story, Alexi, you can hear how he doesn't appreciate or he doesn't feel appreciated by a lot of people and he struggles with having friendships. By the end of the story, a lot of that has changed. By the end of the novel, you can see how his relationships with his parents have changed, with his sister, with his grandparents, even with his dad's best friend and his best friend and the people that he met when he went to the different school, how that has helped influence him in his life. Thank you.